Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about law number 14 from the 48 Laws of Power. If you guys are enjoying this series, like this stuff and please enjoy it. Sit down, get comfy. Let's get to it. Pose a friend, work as a spy. Be friends with people so that they let their guard down and you can learn valuable information. Use what you learn to gain an advantage, not necessarily to harm, but to understand and act strategically. This is going to be the video for today. I'm going to teach you some real life examples on how to use this law and stay motivated. So we're going to start this law with using it at school. Number 1, before an exam. Ask classmates casually, which topic are you focusing on? They may reveal what they think is more important, giving you a study edge. When you ask people about certain topics that they like within the exam, they're going to express the fact that they like that topic. Most of the time, when you get into a conversation with anybody, the first thing they're going to talk about is the things that they love. For me, it's going to be automotive. For me, it's going to be making content on YouTube, or it might be making art. I like drawing skulls. I like drawing anime characters. Those are going to be the first things that's going to come out of my mouth. So before an exam, a classmate's going to give you a little bit of hints about certain topics in that exam. So that's why you want to pay attention and listen to what they're saying first versus trying to speak first. Number 2, group projects. Talk to group members privately and ask how they feel about the project. You'll find out who's slacking and who's stressed, allowing you to manage better and take the lead. When you're in a group project, you're always going to find yourself in the position of the person that's doing the most work, and you're going to find yourself finding the person who does the least work. And you know this based on the information that they tell you. But how does this help you? When you know the friend that's doing the most, you're going to want to lead into that area with them, because you know that the information that they have is not only true, it's valuable for you to succeed in school. But if you're leaning on the edge of the person that's always overwhelmed and anxious all the time, like we were speaking about yesterday, you don't want to be around those people. Those people are going to discourage you. They're going to knock you off your rails, and you're just going to lack information. So pay attention to the person who's the smartest in the room, especially when it comes to group projects in school or even in the classroom. Pay attention to the smartest in the room and learn from them. Number 3, popular students. Befriend them and observe what behaviors or trends they follow. Use that knowledge to blend in or stand out in the right way. And I've done this before too. Pay attention to the most popular people at your school. What makes them so differently to you? Is it their confidence, the way that they dress, the way that they smell? Use these for your own self to make yourself as I want to say like a poser, but a person that stands out more than that person. Is the person that you're looking up to, the highest one in the school, good in sports? Are they good at a specific study? Or do they just come off as arrogant? Pay attention to these people, study them slowly. You don't have to stalk them, but when you see them, look at what they're doing. Look at how they walk and look at how they talk. And that's going to be for school. All right, we're coming to the middle of the video. This is going to be for work. Number 1, water cooler talk. Ask coworkers how their task is going. You'll learn who's overloaded, who's favored by management, or where you can jump in to look helpful. I think when it comes to this law, you want to make sure that you're seeing who's the strongest person working in the room and who's the weakest. Because it's like playing chess. When you know that you're the king in the room and you're seeing a pawn, it's easy to knock down the pawn. But I don't know how chess works, but I'm assuming that's a pretty good example of that. But if you're the highest count in chess, you can most willingly compete with the other one that's of a higher count. You don't want to just knock down little pawns around in your workspace either. You want to make sure that you're competing with the highest people in your room that not only are respected by management, but respected in other coworkers too. So you want to be able to get into those situations and know who's the highest in the room. Number 2, one-on-one with the boss. Casually ask, what kind of work do you find most valuable right now? You'll get insight into priorities, expectations others might miss. When it comes to bosses, they have one priority, at least to what I've seen. I've talked to numerous bosses, asked them numerous questions. Some are harder to talk than others, But when you do find that boss you're willing to speak to about, they will give you very helpful tips. An example of this was when I was trying to build confidence and talk to people. I spoke to my most recent boss. I came up to him and I asked him, "How are you so confident?" And it just came natural to me. And he said, "Oh, do you want to know how to talk to people?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Look for something that you like talking about and just talk, because it's going to be a lot more easier for you to talk about things that you love versus things that are just kind of to you." And that was one of the advice. When you talk to bosses, you understand what their goals are in their life. And most of the time, it's either to make more money or to make you a better employee. And when you know these things, and you can ask them casually too, they won't mind. If you ask, "Hey, boss, I am thinking about improving in my career, and I'm just wondering about how am I doing?" If he says, "You're doing all right," "Oh, you suck," in that area, look on seeking improvement in the areas where you're weak and ask your boss, "Where are the areas that I'm weak?" And if you're doing good, make sure your boss displays that too by gratitude and acceptance, which is really rare, by the way. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But that is one-on-one with the boss. Number 3, new employees. Ask how their onboarding went. They might spill gossip or reveal weakness in management or the company culture you can learn from. As a new employee, and this is very tactical too, and this is why you're acting as a spy. I like this law too. This is really, really cool. But as a new employee, you want to keep your ears open for what coworkers are talking about. This job really, really sucks. I plan on moving on in the next couple of years. I put in my 2 weeks notice a couple years ago, but my boss gave me a raise for putting in my 2 weeks notice because he really didn't want me to leave. All this helpful information that you're overhearing, you're eavesdropping, helps you out a lot succeed in this area of work. And if you're doing that consistently and you're making sure that this rhymes, so the story is correct, because people can talk smack too. So you want to make sure that the story rhymes and it's very, very accurate. And you'll hear the stories going on again and again and again. That's how you know the story is accurate and that the environment is that way. And when you go through with this information, it's a lot easier for you to make decisions instead of idling in the same spot and wondering, "I've been here for 10 years and haven't gotten a raise." But if you've been eavesdropping on the conversations of your coworkers about the positions that they're in similar to yours, it's a lot easier to get ahead in life because now you know, I can move on or I can stay here and gain more experience. So keep that in mind. And that's it for work. One more and we'll call it quits. Now we got friendships. Number 1, relationship drama. I highly suggest staying out of drama, but in this law, drama helps in some type of way. Ask how things are going with their partner or crush. You'll often get more than just surface details, helping you understand group dynamics. When you ask people how their day is, and you're the person that's honest and genuine, you get more information than you need. So when you're positioning as a position of being a good friend, but not only that, but a spy too, your honesty, your calm nature, your listening nature, your care nature, all that stuff is going to display. And that's what makes people want to talk to you a lot easier. I was explaining this to my girlfriend because she was asking me, why do people want to come up to me and just blabber about their problems? And it's easy, because of the fact that you're easygoing and you seem like an honest person. It's an aura that you give off, and you can practice having this aura by being a good listener. Because when you become a good listener, people perceive you to be honest and to be a good person, to be sincere, to be innocent. So when you start becoming a good listener, information just flows to you very easily. So that's why when it talks about relationship drama, you want to make sure that you're being a good listener at work. It really doesn't matter. At school, when you are wondering, "Oh, I wonder if this person's dating this." If you have conversations with these people and you just say, "Oh no, I completely understand. I'm listening to you," etc., 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 information flows to you a lot easy, and it becomes easier to become a spy. Number 2, money talk. Casually bring up things like, "How's work treating you?" Or, "You saving up for anything?" It reveals financial pressure or goals you can later relate to or help with, or avoid competition. When you realize in life that bringing up stuff about what's bothering them makes you get closer to them, like in the second law where we're talking about, when you become that person that's easy to talk to, people are more willing to talk about their struggles with you. And this is talking about specific financial pressures and goals, because when you know about these things and what they're struggling with finances, you're more than willing to help them. This isn't about helping yourself, but helping them too. So you can absolutely use this law for manipulation, or absolutely use this law to help other people too. I'm trying to train my mind up a little bit, so I gotta. This law is about helping too. When I'm reading about money talks and bringing up things like how's work been treating you and saving up for anything, is realizing that you've been through these things already. So when you talk to them and when you listen to them, you can give them tips to help them and motivate them succeed. Or you can take these lessons to say to yourself, a lot of people really, really go through these things, so I'm going to avoid that. You see the two different perspectives I'm giving you? One's a self-help, and the other one's more as of like, let me try to avoid that. So that's definitely a good one for sure. Last but not least, future plans. Ask what's next for you this year. Their dreams or worries help you figure out who's growing, who's stuck, and how your plans aligns or clash. Like I was explaining before, when you understand about people's future plans, like they might say, oh, I'm planning on going to Hawaii in the next couple of weeks, or I'm planning on going to college next year to pursue a degree in law, for an example. When you start understanding how people function, whether if that's good or for bad, you know to avoid them or to excel in those areas. Because when you're improvising to be that friend and pose as a spy, you get to retrieve a lot of information through numerous of people. So take this for what it is for face value, but I think this point is extremely helpful when it comes to allowing you to become more successful in your areas and helping others get there too, if they're willing to listen. And that's a whole nother challenge that we're not going to talk about today, but it's definitely that. Tips, and we'll cut it. Play curious, not creepy. Ask questions in a natural, relaxed way. Don't integrate. You don't have to ask a lot of questions. You can short talk yourself. Just make sure you're becoming calm and natural, and people will just talk for themselves. Because like I was explaining earlier, people just want to talk, and if you let them talk, you're more than willing to know everything about their life, their relationship, their marriage, their work, their personal struggles, their addictions. They'll talk everything out to you because that's what they wanted. Observe reactions. Pay attention to body language and tone. What's unsaid matters the most. Self-explanatory. Eye contact, body language, voice tone, and how they're sitting. Body language is everything, and there's many books out there that'll teach you about those things. Keep your cards close. Don't share everything about yourself just because others do. Keep your mouth shut. And this law is teaching about keeping your mouth shut and being a good listener. Because when you listen, people will tell you information that they've never shared with anybody else before. Because they know you. Number 4, connect dots quietly. Use the information to plan smarter moves, not to gossip or show off. When you connect dots to specific situations and conversations and friend circles, you can get yourself in the hierarchy pretty easy by doing this. But if you're blabbering all the time, spreading rumors, it's almost impossible to get to that. So when you're adding puzzle pieces together, this might be at work. This person might be struggling with doing oil changes. You might say, oh, this person really struggles in this, so maybe I might be able to outshine them by becoming better at my oil changes, making sure that I'm quicker, making sure that I'm working with integrity. And next thing you know, the pond's out of the way and you're getting ahead in your life. But that's a really, really good example. Last but not least, don't be fake. Be strategic. You're not betraying trust. You're learning the game. It's not about falsing yourself or becoming fake towards people. It's a matter about being a good listener. And I will say this again and again because that's what this law is all about. It's not about posing as somebody better. You're not trying to have the spotlight on you. You're just trying to be the honest person that's playing the game of the economy or social hierarchy. And you're playing them strategically, you know? And you'll know that the pieces will move again and again because people start getting angry, they start getting frustrated, but you're not doing anything. You're just listening to stories and fixing them in your life, what they suck at, to get ahead. That's going to be it for today's video. My phone's saying it's overheating, but I hope you guys find valuable information in this stuff. I love you guys. Drop a comment below what you guys think about this law. And you already know, God loves you too. Peace out.